What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. My name's Donovan Wagner and today we're going to be talking about the Feiyutech Scorp-C gimbal. Now Feiyutech was kind enough to send me this gimbal for review and I'm going to be covering who I think this gimbal is for, some of its strengths, some of the weaknesses, and then at the very end of the video you're not going to want to miss this because we are going to be giving this gimbal away to one lucky viewer. So be sure to stay to the end for that. Now, I'm not going to go over every single spec in detail about the gimbal because I'm sure 10, 20 people have already done that on YouTube. What I'm going to cover is who I think this gimbal is for. Like I said, we're going to cover the strengths of this gimbal, a couple weaknesses I found with the gimbal, and at the end, we're going to give it away. So let's get started with the strengths. Now, obviously, the first thing you're going to notice when you look at this gimbal is the size of it. Just like a little tiny pistol grip gimbal. That is tiny, and it has a 5.5 pound payload capacity, so more than enough for everyone out there with their A7 family cameras, the R6, the R5. If you're using a light enough lens, this is a breeze. It's a cakewalk for this gimbal. Now, do I think that 5.5 pounds is pushing it? Yes. We'll get into that later, but the fact that a gimbal is so small and so affordable, that's another strength. 369 Canadian dollars for this gimbal, which is practically nothing when you look at 3-axis motorized gimbals. I definitely think this gimbal is a good first gimbal to have. It's a good starting point. It gets you into the stabilized world of cinematography. So that is the first strength I'm going to say is the size and the price. Now, one more strength I've found with it after shooting music videos, car videos, weddings, is the battery life. I can go all day with this thing without having to charge it. And even when it comes to charging it, having a USB-C port to plug in is so much easier than having to remove batteries, put it into a charger like you do on a lot of other gimbals. So battery life and charging are definitely some of its strengths as well. Now, one other improvement I would say Feiyutech has made in this gimbal is the way every one of the axis locks. The locks are much more defined now and it stays a lot more rigid and the locks do not come undone unless you want them to come undone. So that is also a major strength to this gimbal because it is very compact. When you have it on the side of your backpack, it's not going to be swinging around. It is going to stay locked and it is very compact. As far as balancing, it's also a breeze. Normally, if you want to put tripod legs, you would thread them into the bottom, which you still can do on this gimbal. It does come with a set of tripod legs in the kit. But another cool feature I found was actually just having these little built-in legs that pop out, so that you can lay it on a flat table or flat surface and you're able to balance it just like this. That's also a huge strength for it out in the field in practical use because sometimes you don't want to have the extra tripod legs or another piece that you have to bring with you. So that's also another win for the Scorp-C. Now with the Scorp-C, because it comes in at the lower price point, it's not the Scorp Pro. It doesn't have an LCD screen to show you what modes or settings you're in. However, if you go through the manual and you learn what the buttons do, it's a really simple setup and it's not overly confusing, which is nice. So that would be another strength is usability and ease of use and checking out switching modes and all the different settings with it. Now that we've covered some of the strengths I've found with this gimbal after using the A2000, the A4500, and now this Feiyutech product, they've definitely made a lot of improvements over the years with usability and locking features and things like that. But let's go over a couple weaknesses I have found with this. Now, if you are shooting in portrait orientation or vertical for TikToks and Reels, it isn't quite going to hold up the same way as it is if you're shooting in landscape format. Even with the payload being well below 5.5 pounds on an A7 IV or an R6, if you put it into vertical, I do find it struggles a little bit more and it will sometimes have a tendency to fall down a little bit, as well as it gets really bad micro jitters if you are pushing with a heavier lens. So I definitely recommend getting an L bracket or a vertical mount for shooting vertical content. It's just going to make your life easier and then the axis don't seem to struggle as bad. Other than that, I really haven't found many other weaknesses to the gimbal. It does tend to drag a little bit or sway a little bit in some modes. However, it hasn't been enough to ruin any shots yet. But again, at a gimbal that comes in at this price point for a motorized gimbal that's this compact, there's going to be some things that aren't as good as the pro models that Feiyutech or DJI or Zhiyun carry. What I think is really unique is that they are throwing out a gimbal in this price point because no one else seems to be doing that, and it can still get the professional job done. So which leads me into the next part of this video, which is who do I think this gimbal is for? And basically I think it's for a lot of people. It's going to be for beginner filmmakers who are picking up their first mirrorless camera, or if you are more of a run and gun social media content creator, it's getting an FX30 or an FX3, and you just want to have something small that you can bring with you for stabilization, then I think this is a fantastic choice. I also think it's really good for real estate videographers because it is very compact and it lasts for the entire day. So if you are going to be shooting some listings and you need that stabilization throughout the day, I think this is a phenomenal option for you. I also think that if you have other stabilization methods like big Ronins or other big stabilizers, that this might still be beneficial for you to pick up as a B-cam gimbal or just a backup gimbal, because it does come in at such an affordable price point that 369 Canadian dollars, which is like probably 10 US dollars, is very easy to grab and very easy to attain. And so it doesn't hurt to have an extra gimbal for those shoot days. All right, guys, so if you've made it this far in the video, you know we're going to be giving away this Scorp-C to one lucky viewer. So to enter this contest, all you have to do is subscribe to this channel, comment below on how you would use this gimbal, and we're just going to pick one lucky commenter today, and we're going to ship this gimbal anywhere in North America. It will be at your door. So be sure to subscribe and comment below, and I can't wait to see one of you guys put this gimbal to use. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're going to be picking up a Feiyutech Scorp-C, I will leave the link in the description below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Peace!